We're back.
And we're back.
Yeah.
We just had some delicious food.
I firehouse soup.
Yeah, I think you can get those around the world.
Pretty much, yeah, I think so.
Maybe. I don't even know. Doesn't matter. So, we got some cookies. Yummy cookies.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, yeah. Metallica. There was a thought here. Oh my god. It's as big as my head. Anyhow. So fucking delicious.
Oh yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
thought I was making before the food arrived. With bands like Metallica, Kiss, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, Judas Priest, uh, all these really well-known big-name bands would not have lasted as long as they have if they didn't adapt their style
Mm-hmm.
and change. Oh, and you know, get better with the times.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing with a lot of bands too. Like, some bands will evolve, some bands will more than likely stay the same. They say they stay the same, but they change.
Yeah,
In my opinion, like South of Heaven is a hell of a lot different than Hell Awaits,
yeah,
in my opinion. But that's just me.
yeah.
It's not just that new bands are coming out and stuff, but you even have kids that are influenced by rock bands, or they are influenced and they start their own bands.
Hmm?
I can't remember the name of the band right now, but they're like 12 years old and they fucking are like one of the best sounding thrash bands I've heard in a while.
Right.
And it just goes on, like, influence.
See, that's the thing. The genre of music has adapted so much that there are a younger generation of people getting into music and playing music, whether it be an electric guitar or guitar in general, playing the drums, and more often than not, it will have been influenced by you know, a Metallica or a Black Sabbath or
Van Halen.
Van Halen or whatever. And you'd be amazed at the number of young guitarists and drum players.
Yep.
And I'm talking 12 and under. Well, yeah. That can crush covers of, you know, Metallica songs and just any song probably. But I'll just, I'll just play it and like be good, or even like okay, Didn't know they were young. I mean, fucking crushed it.
Like I mean, the thing is, and I had this conversation with somebody earlier, and it's like, you know what? It seems to me that in another 20 years, you're gonna have, bands like, well, maybe Greta Van Fleet or 3 Days Grace, which are pretty much almost 20 years old into, being popular and whatever, in my opinion. But, you have bands too that, Metallica, people just love to hate.
Yeah.
Like there's Metallica, there's Nickelback. Now, I did a video when I first started YouTube. Actually, I still have it somewhere. Where I basically tried to defend Nickelback, and I think the fact of the matter is that people are so fucking. I don't want to get into any arguments about whatever, like jealous. When you listen to the band, they don't sound that bad.
Like, all this hate on Nickelback is like, why you be hating?
Yeah, like I basically compared I had Nickelback to like 80s hair metal for some reason. And I think that, when you listen to the lyrics, yeah, they're kind of silly. A lot of Nickelback songs are a little bit silly, too juvenile. And I can understand too that as you get older, nobody's going to want to listen to you play songs like Figured You Out or
Yeah.
Something in Your Mouth,
The thing is, though, as quote unquote silly as you see lyrics are in Nickelback songs, they're they're pretty much they're pretty popular, and there are songs that they have that are very very good, that are meaningful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it. Oh, yeah. But and the thing is that really pisses me off is when well, it doesn't anymore basically, but you hear them when they play bands like played in festivals like Portugal or like even Detroit.
Right.
They were booed, I believe, at some point.
Yeah.
And it was like, really? Like, you can't really hate a band that much. They're not that terrible. They're not even terrible. They're just playing what they fucking want, and that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah, they're not terrible. They're one of the few, or they're one of the few bands that have, kept their shit together, and not done anything fucking stupid. Especially Chad Kruger.
Well, unfortunately, he got in a fight with Corey Taylor, which I'm a huge fan of Corey Taylor as well, so it is what it is.
And he got into a fight with Corey Taylor. Okay.
Not my problem. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I think what was cool, though, was you had Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains, who had defended Nickelback. From who I can't remember, but it was like, here's a band that sells out. You go to their shows, and it's quite, entertaining. They have pyro, they have this, they have that. It's a rock and roll show, basically.
Well, yeah.
Not everybody is going to like certain bands, and I get that.
Yeah.
But to hate a band just because, you're trying to find a reason. It's like
Who's the childish one now?
pretty much. Like I don't like I have no respect for Kid Rock anymore, but I'm not gonna go on YouTube and bash Kid Rock or anything.
Yeah, like you don't have you don't you're not the biggest fan of Kid Rock. You have your reasons for it, but you're not gonna gloat or bash him and talk shit about him and all this other shit.
I mean, he's not as bad as Ted Nugent, but still,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
people have their views, and that's fine. But yeah, so
Yeah, when you look at all these bands that have lasted 25, 30, 40 years, and it's like
50 years, even.
50 years in some cases, depending. But like, you look at all those bands, and even though they've changed their style and dabbled in different styles of music and whatever else, they're still fucking popular, and that's why they've lasted as long as they have.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm sure there's people that are, like I said, in this generation, there's people that are gonna be 12 or however old, and they're gonna wear Kiss shirts, or they're gonna wear Iron Maiden shirts, or they're gonna wear Metallica shirts. And there is this case where people are like, they wear shirts just because they wear shirts. They don't shit about the band, and that kind of, it doesn't piss me off like some other people, but it kind of is irritating. But I will say that my grandparents bought me a New Kids on the Block shirt when I was, young. Can't remember how old I was.
Right.
I wore it for some reason. I was not a fan, but I knew their music. I just wasn't
a fan. And maybe that is the case with some kids that wear a Metallica shirt, a Kiss shirt, a Guns N' Roses shirt, or whatever the case. Yeah, you may listen to them and maybe like their music, but you're not like a diehard fan of them, which is totally fine. You don't have to be a diehard fan of a band's music to enjoy the music.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it depends on if the parents were fans. Let's bring that on to the kids. And the same goes for like wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And talk about people, little kids that don't even know who Bret Hart is, and they might wear a Bret Hart T-shirt.
Yeah.
Or a Stone Cold Steve Austin T-shirt, or even an Andre the Giant T-shirt.
Yeah, like when you got a generation now where you got like 9-year-old kids playing let's say Enter the Sandman on the guitar. They were probably introduced to the band, probably if not by their parents, maybe by like an older sibling that was into Metallica, maybe. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It really all depends.
Yep.
The same as why a lot of kids get into wrestling. It's either, let's say, their parents are big fans of wrestling, and slowly their child got in, at whatever age, the child started watching it and then liked it and then grew up with it, or if not the parents, older brother, let's say, that was into it and
Oh yeah.
got their younger brother or sister, let's say, into it.
Oh yeah. Like I know that my older brother was the biggest influence for me, anyways, in music or wrestling and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool, right? So And that's the thing too. That's the thing. It's just each generation is gonna like stuff that's 60 years ago, not even 60 years ago. Well, maybe, you know, uh, so on and so forth,
Yeah.
something like that. That's just the way it is, and so I mean, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that.
And it's really interesting too how a lot as time has gone on, the generations of people that are into music, wrestling, or whatever the case may be, has gotten younger.
Yeah,
Talk about 9-year-old, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, or whatever, getting in, playing whatever song on the guitar or on the drums and whatever. And it's like, what 9-year-old or what child do you would you have ever expected to do something like that? Let's say when we were like 9 and 10 years old, wouldn't have happened.
No, I think like I didn't know a lot about music. Obviously.
Well, yeah,
But I think the only thing I really would have known about is like Aerosmith or the fucking, Wayne's World soundtrack or whatever, my older brother was listening to.
yeah,
So it's like, that's the thing. And I'm sure that, like, your nephew plays the guitar, he's very good at it,
Oh, yes.
I believe. I'm sure that he was influenced by whoever it was that not made him, but let him listen to the music and
yeah,
figure it out for himself.
oh yeah,
So,
yeah, for sure.
but check out Midnight. We have looked back at Emergence 2022. And yeah, that's a good show. And then actually, I talked to you because apparently Impact has another show coming up. So
Okay.
that's next week.
Right.
So that's kind of not sure why they're doing that, but it'll be on a Saturday this time. So anyhow,
Be on a Saturday as well as All
shit.
Out
Oh no.
and
Oh
Worlds
yeah,
Collide.
Worlds Collide, All Out, and Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, well, we're gonna plan that out. Anyhow. So for me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle. Check out his channel. And we will talk to you next time. Deuces.
Peace.